Hello, my Panda Pals, and welcome back to the channel and to another recap. Today is going to be part 2 of what happened on Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 11. So, buckle it up, and let's go for a ride. Let's check in with Niles and Matilda. Niles and Matilda wake up, they are both over the moon because her family has finally accepted him.
Aren't you happy that finally our family has accepted Niles Valentine to our family? Aren't you happy?
I'm very happy.
Matilda's like, my mother definitely thinks that you're gonna ghost me, but don't worry, I told her that you would never leave your baby boo.
Are you sure you're gonna come back? And I said, yeah, I'm sure. My babe will definitely come back for me.
The two head back, and Matilda is super excited to be showing him around her house. But Niles, well, let's just say that he was less than impressed.
Before I got to Ghana, I kind of saw a little bit of the house, but it hits differently when you actually get to see the conditions of the place.
She shows him the kitchen, the office, the bedroom, and Niles is like, how the hell is this even a bathroom? There is no running water.
What? Where's the running water?
We will pick our baskets and go fetch some water. You come in and take our shower.
Niles is looking around like he just stepped onto the set of Survivor.
I know that they don't have much money, but this house, this is not a house. They have dirt floors, barely any furniture.
And he tells us that he feels so bad for them because they are living in such terrible conditions. Matilda takes him to her bedroom and she's like, so my 2 sisters share the bed and me and 3 of my siblings sleep on the floor. And Niles is like, OMG, what a terrible life.
This is not how human beings are supposed to live. If these walls were gray, this would be indistinguishable from a prison cell.
Ugh, listen, would I live there? No. But would I tell the people who do live there that it reminds me of a prison? Also no. They are doing their best with the cards that were dealt to them, okay? So maybe we don't insult them for the life that they were able to build with what little they had.
Niles is being insulting. This is what we can afford for now. This is where I have been growing since I was a child.
Niles heads out so that he can figure out his Wi-Fi situation here, and Matilda sits in the kitchen with her 2 sisters, and one of them is like, girlie, you should have forced that man to marry you on this trip. And Matilda is like, how could I have possibly done that to him? He wasn't ready. At least he's going through with the knocking ceremony. Then they go on to talk about how expensive the knocking ceremony is gonna be, and her sister tells her that her knocking ceremony was about $250 US. And Matilda's like, yeah, so my knocking definitely has to be better than yours because if it's not, then it is gonna bring so much shame because Niles already canceled the wedding.
Niles doesn't know it yet, but we need money from him to prepare the knocking ceremony. I cannot be disgraced in front of my family again.
Later, they hit the market so Niles can live a day in Matilda's shoes.
Oh God, they will not come buy my cocoa. Look, it's sexy. I want to sexy me.
She's absolutely loving this, but the fact that Niles called her house a prison cell is still kind of bothering her, so she brings it up.
You were saying that this here look like prison. You see the way you take your shower? It's not good. It hurts me that day.
I'm sorry.
She says that if her mother was walking around the house and she heard him say that, it would have really hurt her feelings.
Dating, having relationships, it's not easy for me. I was afraid of this. I think Matilda's starting to understand that autism affects me in a big way.
Matilda tells him that he cannot disgrace her again, and Niles says that he really doesn't know what to do.
If I unmask, people get offended. If I mask, people say I'm lying. When do I tell the truth and when do I mask?
She says he can be honest with her when they are home, and he does not have to worry about masking. But when he is with her family, he's gonna need to not be so super blunt.
I'm glad you're talking to me, telling me what you want. That's actually a big relief.
Niles is genuinely grateful because in previous relationships, people expected him to just be a mind reader and get better on his own, but Matilda is teaching him how she wants to be treated, which is incredibly helpful.
Matilda's teaching me how I should be treating her. I am overjoyed that she's willing to do that for me.
Okay, so I keep flip-flopping back and forth with Niles, but I like him again. He fucks up a lot, but he genuinely apologizes and tries to do better, which is a hell of a lot more than most of the people on this show can do. Matilda then talks about the knocking ceremony with him, and she says that it's usually around 20 to 30 people, but she wants all of her friends and their friends to come too. She kind of feels like they deceived all of them because they invited them to a wedding that is no longer happening.
How many people am I looking at here?
Maybe like 90 people. I will need maybe $300 to give Charlotte so that she can prepare food.
Niles is like, whoa, okay, girlie, that is a lot of money that I do not have. Let me see what I can scrounge together by Saturday. And Matilda is like, oh, no, we need to give her this money like now.
My financial situation is not the best. I've already disappointed Matilda and her family once. I don't know what's gonna happen if I disappoint them again.
The pair head out to meet Matilda's brother and friend, and she tells them that her knocking ceremony is gonna be balls to the walls, so they need to bring all of their friends.
Maybe you will tell your friends to come, right?
I'm gonna have to tell her to reduce her guest list.
I will not reduce anything.
Niles says that he was expecting the knocking to be small because his family was not gonna be a part of it. And her brother's like, oh, no, your family absolutely has to be a part of this, so we're gonna have to get them on Zoom or something. And then Matilda is like, okay, well, with the time difference, his family is probably still gonna be asleep. And her brother is like, okay, well, if that's the case, then Niles has to find someone here to stand in as his father because tradition.
If Niles wouldn't get anybody to stand as father to ask Matilda's hands in marriage, it's gonna be a problem for that.
And the time difference is not the problem because remember, when we first started this journey, Niles told us that his family does not support his relationship with Matilda. So Niles does a very hard think and he's like, well, I do have a friend in Ghana named Mr. Ark that I could ask. So Mr. Ark is someone who is well respected in their community, and Matilda introduced Niles to him because he runs a center for disabled people and him and Niles essentially do the same line of work. So Niles decides he's gonna ask him to be his stand-in father.
I'm nervous because Mr. Ark is a friend man, and he has been rude to me in the past.
Let's check in with Joe and Magda. We got a new couple incoming. Say hello to Joe, 34-year-old Italian from West Palm Beach, Florida. He's visiting his family for Father's Day, and his papa is like, Joey's a good guy. He's had a lot of girlfriends, and I honestly wish he would just get married. Joe tells us that despite having a successful career, his family does not think that he takes his life seriously.
I like to go to bars, I like to dance, I like to travel, I like going out, talking to people, spending money, meeting women.
But he's a changed man now. He's deleted all of the dating apps because he's finally found his other half, Magda. Now, Magda is from Poland, and they met when Joe was video chatting a friend who was hanging out with her, and Joe was like, yo, who that hottie in the background? And then they talked for a hot minute and fell in love.
I think she's funny, like she's smart, she plays volleyball, she's like always doing tournaments. I don't want to say she's like perfect, but she kind of is.
Wow! I think this is legitimately the first time that I've heard a guy talk about his partner on this show and say something other than, I like her because she's hot. He tells us that the two of them do everything together while they're video chatting, except of course, pooping.
You want to poop with her?
I just poop all the time on FaceTime. It's like my #1 time to call someone because I'm like free.
Ew. Ew. They've been dating for the past 5 months, and he's finally flying out next week to meet her for the very first time.
How old is this girl?
Yeah.
24. Oh, she's 23, I'm sorry. And I'm 34,
You're
is
like
that
Leonardo
bad?
DiCaprio. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I'm 34 now, and I do not think I could be dating a 23-year-old. I do not care how mature you say you are. And I think that's because I am 34 now. I know what I used to be like at 23, and at 23, I thought I was hot shit. I thought I was mature. I thought I was a full-grown adult, and now at my current age, I look back and I'm like, oh shit, like, no, I was still very much a youngling. He tells his family that Magda used to be a corrections officer, but she recently quit her job.
So she doesn't have a job right now?
Correct.
What was the reason for quitting her job?
She wants to come here. I mean, that's the plan.
Red flags start to raise for his family, and they ask him what Magda wants to do if she's able to come to the States.
What she wants to do in the United States?
I did. She wants to be a mother.
Joe couldn't take care of a tomato in the garden, and you want him to be a father?
Joe tells us that Magda has been very transparent with her intentions. She wants to come to America, she wants to get married, and she wants to start a family.
In order for these things to happen as quick as she wants, I would have to propose on this trip. I don't know if I'm ready for all that at this moment.
If you are not ready for kids and she wanted them like yesterday, proposing does seem like a very bad idea. His family is like, listen, Joe, she's looking real red flaggy right now, and they say that it sounds like she's just trying to baby trap him. And Joe reassures them by saying that Magda has never asked him for money or about money, so she has no idea what he does or how much he makes.
The question is, does she want to move here just to move here, or does she want to move here for you? She quit her job, fast and furious about wanting to have kids.
A lot of red flags.
Joe is a self-proclaimed hustler. He loves working and making money as a realtor selling high-end homes. Magda calls him while he's working and he's like, "Oh, I love you, baby. You're so pretty."
I'm a little stressed. We have a lot of things to talk about.
Doesn't surprise me Magda wants to have a talk. She's not too happy with me right now.
When he started dating Magda, she stopped seeing other people immediately, but he did not know that they were monogamous, so he slept with another woman. And no, this was not around the time where they started dating. This was like 2 months ago. And I'm sorry, but if you were planning on proposing to her in a week, then 2 months ago, you should have acted like you were in a monogamous relationship.
She was upset that I didn't stop talking to girls. My location's being shared.
That's crazy, man.
It's a little scary, right?
Yikes! If you have to force your partner to share their location with you because you do not trust them, you should not be in that relationship. So this girl over here, her name is Jill. She is Joe's friend, but she's also an ex. They dated for under a year about 7 years ago, and Joe has not told Magda that he's been hanging out with her.
It just feels like everything's moving way too quickly without them really even knowing each other.
It's the day before he flies out, and Joe is on the phone with Magda, picking up some things before he flies out tomorrow.
Ever since we had our disagreement, we've been on the phone a lot more often. She's a little suspicious and might be keeping little tabs on me.
He picks up candy, shampoo, deodorant, and he's like, should I pick up some condoms?
It's not a good time. I don't want to have sex till I will come to USA. I need to feel I trust you.
Joe is like, I'm genuinely surprised that she doesn't want to bang on this trip because, I mean, I've seen her naked, she's seen me naked, and we've been talking about our future and kids and all that jazz. He's now a little nervous because Magda is a planner. So he's wondering what kind of ulterior motives she could possibly have because who tells her boyfriend the day before he visits that she doesn't want to do it? I don't know, maybe a girl who thinks you cheated on her.
Maybe there are red flags that I've been willing to see just because I've been blocking everything out and not really listening to anyone's concerns.
It's 3 hours before Joe's flight departs and production cannot get a hold of him.
He's not answering his phone. He's not been answering the door. I wonder what's going on.
And we're gonna have to wait until next week to figure out if he is just bailing or overslept. And that, my Panda Pals, is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I know you want to. Give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this one. I hope to see you for the next one, and as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye!